Hey folks, at the Movies with Film, looking something up here. It's going to really fit the film that we're working with. Now, I remember seeing this film when I was a little kid. Now, I saw this at the drive-in, and I'll tell you something. You must think that my parents were one great bunch of people, which they were, because they had great taste. They took me to the drive-in all the time. My dad was a great believer that the idea was that you should always get 3 movies for one. Very important to him. So the drive-in was the place. And they always showed the greatest of fare. Now, the film that we're seeing today, The Sadist, 1963, The Sadist. Now, I remember that was the first time I ever heard of that term. I remember my dad was looking in the newspaper at the ads and things like that. And it was a Sunday, and I think he had a little vacation time, so he was going to use it up. So it didn't matter what we did Monday morning. So we were going to go to a drive-in Sunday night. And he said, look, what's out there? It's The Sadist. And I go, The Sadist? What the heck is a sadist? Now, I looked at the picture. Had a picture of Arch Hall Jr. Remember Arch Hall Jr.? Eegah. Woohoo. Remember Eegah? Eegah. Okay. He was the guitar-wielding guy. But he plays the sadist in this film. A guy named Charlie Tibbs. Likewise, it has Marilyn Manning, also who was in Eegah. And what's this film about? Well, it's about this group of school teachers. These 3 school teachers, kind of rings a bell right now too even, 3 school teachers who are going to the Dodgers baseball game on a Sunday afternoon. The car breaks down, the fuel pump goes out, and what's great about this film, unlike reality, this is one of the unrealistic things about this very realistic movie otherwise, is that their car breaks down just right outside of a salvage yard. Does that happen to you? Never happens to me. Okay, when my car breaks down, it's always Christmas, nobody around, everybody's, out eating and things, and I'm stranded on the road with a bunch of kids trying to figure out what's going on. And maybe eat a can of Spam or something like that, because that's all we got to split between us. Not good. Okay, but they luck out. Seems lucky. Yeah, salvage yard. Thing is, they can't get anybody to help them. Seems like there's no help. They start going to strip a car to put their new fuel pump on, and guess who pops up? The sadist. Now, I wanted to look up the sadist here and see what... Whoa, someone who gets pleasure from dominating, mistreating, or hurting another individual. That fits this. Now, Arch Hall is, he's kind of a limited actor in a lot of ways. But I'll tell you, this film, he does a wonderful job. He is the sadist. Fantastic. If you're a fan of films like Natural Born Killers, Badlands, even Deliverance, you've stumbled into a film that's right in your wheelhouse, keeping that baseball metaphor going. It's kind of interesting, too. Arch Hall Sr., you remember him? He played the scientist in Eegah, and he was also the director of Eegah. He's the voice narrator of this thing. He narrates the baseball game over the radio. And what's cool about this movie, if you like the show 24, okay, films or High Noon, shot in real time, this film is shot in real time. Okay, they're continuously referring to the clock. You've got 4 minutes to fix that fuel pump there. Okay, and I kept looking at my clock, my watch. They were right on. So that film, it covers a really real sense of time. Arch Hall does a fantastic job in this film. Okay, so does Marilyn Manning as Judy. She plays this kind of autistic, sadistic woman. Okay, very short, he's very tall, and they make a great match, and he's continually giggling with his gun. You're going to fix that fuel pump in 3 minutes. And time is important in this thing. It's kind of neat, too, how this film ends, which I won't tell you. It's stuck in my mind, okay? Now, you think of the film like, Last Woman on Earth, which really came down to 3 characters left, okay? This film, very minimalist, too, okay? You have 2 sadists, and you have 3 school teachers. That's it. You have a couple dead guys in a closet. Whoop, kind of gave away some stuff, but you'll see what I mean later on. Okay, but they don't count that much. Okay, you've got 5 folks, and that gets kind of whittled down. I'm not going to tell you who goes first and what's on second and that kind of thing, but there is kind of an elimination type of thing going on there. And
you have a minute and a half.
Whoop. See, even we do real time on this show. Okay. The film was shot by Vilmos Zsigmond. And You might know him for the he did Deliverance. He shot Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He shot Obsession. He shot Heaven's Gate, The Two Jakes. He shot The Sadist. He started in that lower echelon of filmmaking. Maybe he kind of broke himself in on that kind of stuff. He also did The Incredibly Strange Creatures that got all mixed up and became back as zombies. Okay, one of those great Ray Dennis Steckler films, which would love to be able to run a movie like that on here. The title alone would fill up my 6 minutes that I'm given at the beginning of these intros. Okay, now, The Sadist, 1963. It's directed by James Landis. Don't want to forget about that. He did one other Arch Hall Jr. film called Deadwood 76. Okay, but for my money, this film works. Take EGA and pitch a tomato at it, okay, and watch The Sadist. Roll 'em, Smokey.